On BeeTv Major News tonight, coming to you live from BeeTv, Edo State, Nigeria. Now the news headlines. 15-year-old girl trafficked to Burkina Faso for prostitution, who was servicing 12 to 15 men daily, rescued by Edo State Migration Agency.
This little child here was trafficked to Burkina Faso. Did you know what they did? They fished a coil around for a family planning.
Seeing her just now, I was not happy.
I did sleep 12:15.
12:15.
UNICEF strengthens support systems of primary health care in 8 states in Nigeria.
I believe that there is a compelling need to sponsor researches to produce medicines and vaccines for our all local plants that we have here.
Really reduce the reliance on others at all levels. What has happened by this U.S. government decision has shook us to the core, but honestly, I think we knew this was coming.
Member representing Esako East constituency at the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Kingsley Ugabi visits Okpekpe community after attack by herdsmen.
Everything we can humanly do to make sure we make our people safe and take this fear away from them, we are going to do that.
Also on the headlines, the Prince Builders and Real Estate Developers opens up new estate, takes potential developers on inspection tour.
Look at the masters there.
Working with the Prince Builders, I'm so happy that I'm seeing value for my money. So I'm glad that I'm seeing what I paid for.
We already fenced around your estate. We have commercial plots. We also have residential plots in this estate.
A very good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight on BeeTv Major News at 6, coming to you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital, Nigeria. I am Gift Uwagboy. And now to the news in details. Edo State Migration Agency has rescued a 15-year-old girl, Juliet Friday, who was trafficked to Burkina Faso alongside her friend, Praise Oriaki, who was lucky to have escaped earlier and brought back to Nigeria. BeeTv News' Belumi Mukoro reports that a family planning coil was inserted into 15-year-old girl Juliet's arms to prevent her from getting pregnant. The report is presented by Best Orator.
2 weeks ago, BeeTv News reported that Edo State Migration Agency apprehended 4 suspects involved in the trafficking of 2 underage girls, Juliet Friday, 15 years old, and Praise Oriaki, 17 years old, where Praise Oriaki was lucky to escape, but sadly, Juliet Friday was still held at Burkina Faso. In a new development, Juliet Friday has now been rescued by the agency from Burkina Faso and reunited her with her parents, who are both deaf and dumb. Commenting on the development, the Director General Edo State Migration Agency, Chief Lucky Agazuma, and an official of the agency expressed displeasure over the situation of Juliet Friday and promised to take severe action on those involved, and also appealed to Edo citizens to join the agency in the fight to eradicate trafficking in person.
I want to recall you back to last fortnight, 2 weeks ago, when we paraded some persons here who trafficked a minor from Benin City to Burkina Faso, where we told you a case of a dumb and deaf, as in who cannot speak, who cannot hear. This little child here was trafficked to Burkina Faso. Did you know what they did? They fished a coil around for a family planning. We will not rest until these persons are all brought to book. Thank God the facilitator in Nigeria here, they are in our custody, the 4 of them. That person in Burkina Faso, wherever you are, God will get you. If you can't, God will. Because what you've just done is a sin, not just against the government, but against humanity. I'm very, very sorry about this. This is one of the worst cases I have handled since I became the Director General, Edo State Migration Agency.
Vulnerable child whose parents are mute and couldn't get assistance and was deceived to get assistance for her parents, and the best they could do was to take her outside the country, across borders, for prostitution. It got to a point where the child narrated her ordeal, that her own womb fell out, her uterus.
Speaking to journalists, the suspected traffickers, Nosa Iyamu, Queen Ibizugbe, Faith Igbineweka, all denied as usual their involvement in the sex traffic ordeal. Also speaking, Juliet Friday's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Friday, expressed relief on seeing their daughter again.
Every day among people we plan this thing, and I feel bad. I'm still asking God for mercy because I don't know.
Not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I pray for God for forgiveness. I'm not happy.
Seeing her just now, I was not happy.
The victim, Juliet Friday, narrated our ordeal in the hands of her traffickers and said a family planning code known as Next Planor was inserted into her so that she would not get pregnant. She also stated that about 12 to 15 men were sleeping with her daily and also mentioned the amount she has so far remitted to her traffickers.
They put me for one woman side, put my friend Praise for another side. Our two now they put for one side. So as I reach the woman place, woman come ask me whether I know the work man can do. I say na cleaning work now they tell me, say no, say not be cleaning work, say na shower can do. From there I come there they cry for like 1 week. You know, they can't carry me go hospital, go do me this family planning. They do me the family planning. Never to tell now my own come for. One of our
how your womb take for you sleep with any man before
yes,
your womb
yes,
for.
Yes.
And they talk on now. So
I
when you do the family planning finish, now there you can't start work.
Yes.
Okay.
When
so the first man will sleep with you, what happen? You do not agree, but how you can't happen?
I agree will sleep with me, but after I don't go, my belly can't they pay me. I not confident they work out because that day, the next morning, I no work. They can't flog me. That the evening time, they can't just what they do me. I say no, my belly now they pay me. Can't just put that on my woman. I say I don't know that on my woman. They can't carry me go inside. Can't say my lie down for bed. I can't lie down for bed. Can't use the hand. Can't shook inside my body. Then can't push the home go inside back. After 2 days, I can't start work again. So now so that they beat me, they go. If I know what they go, I they sleep 12-15.
12-15.
Yes.
How much did they pay you?
1,000.
The fight against human trafficking in Edo State is definitely not a child's play, as Edo State Migration Agency has promised to fish out perpetrators of these inhuman acts. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
Also, the Edo State Migration Agency has paraded 19 suspected sex workers who were apprehended during a raid in Benin City. It was gathered that majority of the sex workers that were paraded were non-indigenous of Edo State. The report is presented by Pelumi Mukoro.
19 suspected sex workers who were paraded by the Edo State Migration Agency were between ages 21 to 34 years, and majority were non-indigenous of Edo State, according to investigation. The General Edo State Migration Agency Chief Lucky Agazuma, addressing the issue, stated that such illegal activities will no longer be tolerated in Edo State as they plan to nab those who go against these rules. He said Edo State will not encourage prostitution.
No organization can succeed in isolation. It's only with a strategic collaboration you can get a good innovation. Based on that, we had a joint task force yesterday among Edo State Migration Agency and Public Safety Response Team. We also have Special Task Force, then SA on Surveillance, then the Vigilante. These persons here, you see here, they came out at night and we accosted them. Today, we have them in our custody. We are using this as a means to send message to other persons who want to come out tonight. If you come out, you will meet us there, because we want you to be on your bed that you've missed for a very long time while we occupy the street. If you come out to the street, you will meet us there. And once you meet us, that means a problem. Landlord or you own a brothel, don't forget that I have sensitized you more than 5 times where I organize several seminars. Within our law, within the purview of the law, we have the right to sell your house, take the proceeds to our trust fund account, then using the money to rehabilitate and reintegrating back the victims back to the society. So if you want to gamble your house, your property, please, dear Edma, Edo State Migration Agency.
Speaking with BeeTv News, some of the suspects stated that they came from other states and their parents were not aware of the kind of work they are involved in. They, however, regretted their actions of selling their body for money.
I came December, first week of December 2024.
Okay, your parents know. Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from Cross River.
Are your parents aware of the kind of business you are doing in Benin?
No.
Okay, how old are you?
21.
Where are you from?
Kogi State.
So how long have you been in the business?
September last year.
September last year.
Yeah.
So how many men do you sleep with a night?
1. I'm
from where?
From Cross River State.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay. How long have you been in the business?
I came here last year, November.
Last year, November.
Yeah.
How did you enter? Who introduced you into the business?
My friend.
Male or female?
Female.
So when you were coming from Cross River, you knew this was the business you were going to start?
No, she only told me that I'll come and work in a hotel.
So from hotel now you can't be the main point, have you?
The raid by Edo State Migration Agency is still ongoing as the fight against illegal activities, according to the agency, must stop. Welumi Mokoro reporting for BeeTv News.
The member representing Esako East constituency at the Edo State Assembly, Honorable Kisli Ugabi, has visited Okpekpe community after the community suffered the brutal attack by Fulani herdsmen, resulting in loss of lives, including Mr. Philip Batimu, aka Ebo, and Mr. Christopher Bello. BeeTv News Best Storyteller reports that the lawmakers sympathize with victims' families. The report.
The news of Fulani herdsmen attack on Okpekpe community recently, which led to the death of 2 persons, brought grief to the family members of the deceased and the entire community. These developments prompted the member representing Isako East constituency at the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Kingsley Ugabi, to pay a condolence visit to the community. During the visit, Honorable Gabi was accompanied by key stakeholders who include the area commander Agenebode, Army Commander of 195 Battalion, Isako East, Head of DSS, Head of Joint Task Force Agenebode Security, and the DPO of Uzanu, amongst others.
You know, if there were other languages to use, we would have used it, but what language can we use? We can only come and console the family, we can only come and condole with them, and then we will do the few things we can do. But I think you'll see me here now. I have the council chairman here, we have the HOS here, we have the CEO of the barracks here, we have the area commander here, we have the DPO who's on here, and other security agencies. All of them are here, and we're talking about their heads. They're all here, trying to, and then the vigilante group are also there.
Honorable Kingsley Ugabi, who assessed the situation, offered condolences to the families of the victims and advised the community to remain calm and peaceful. He assured them that the authorities are taking steps to address security concerns and emphasized the need for peaceful coexistence.
Everything we can humanly do to make sure we make our people safe and take this fear away from them, we are going to do that. I had to leave Benin when I heard yesterday, even though I was on call with most of the security agencies. I had to leave Benin early this morning to be here because I also want to get back to Benin to have the opportunity to take up the matter in the floor of the Edo State House of Assembly, which of course, as you know, I represent this constituency in the House of Assembly. So,
from the residence of the victims, Honorable Kingsley Ugabi visited the traditional ruler of Okpekpe, His Royal Highness Peter Asigbami. Traditional head called on both the federal and state government to come to the raid and deploy military personnel to vulnerable areas to restore peace and allow residents to return to their farms without fear.
like I also said to the chairman now and even the secretary, that this is a challenge to all of us and to them especially, that they need to take surveillance and patrol this act very seriously. A lot of these things, everybody complains. I had to leave early. I spoke to the commissioner from Information today. I spoke to the CP. I spoke with the head of the vigilante, who is also a retired.
As a renowned host of the annual Okpekpe Road Race, a 10-kilometer event that attracts participants from across the globe, the community security is of paramount concern. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
The Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Blessing Agbebaku, has promised to speak with Governor Monday Okpebholo on the need to ensure adequate welfare provisions for health workers to address the Japa syndrome and to stem the immigration of doctors and other health professionals in the state. BeeTv News Osarogi Agbebo reports that the Speaker of the 8th Assembly gave the assurance when he received the Chief Medical Director and other management and staff of Edo Specialist Hospital in his office. The report.
The Chief Medical Director of Edo Specialist Hospital, Dr. Antonia Ujoku, in company with top management staff of the Edo Specialist Hospital during a courtesy visit to the office of the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly, were received by the Speaker, Honorable Blessing Agbebaku, and other lawmakers who include the Minority Leader, Honorable Eric Okaka, Honorable Sunday Agedu, Honorable Brett Iyamu, Honorable Eugene Inegebo, and the Chairman House Committee on Health, Honorable Richard Osaro. In her speech, the Chief Medical Director of Edo Specialist Hospital, Dr. Antonia Unjoku, said the purpose of the visit by the team was to seek partnership with the Edo State House of Assembly in improving the state healthcare facilities. Dr. Unjoku said two major challenges facing the hospital are shortage of manpower and infrastructure development.
We need an upgrade of our infrastructure, and that will also mean that we will need to procure equipment, very modern medical equipment. Things like MRI, we have a CT scan, but nothing stops us from having an MRI. The goal is to transform the specialist hospital into a tertiary care, because so that we have a state-owned tertiary care that is world-class. As I speak to you, sir, because of the Japa syndrome, we have a lot of manpower gap in personnel, especially to do with the doctors and the nurses. Every day, I get letters of resignation because people are moving on to greener pastures, and it's so difficult to get, our personnel. So there is a big need to fill up this gap, because the people of Edo State deserve the best.
Responding, Honorable Blessing Agbebaku reaffirmed the lawmakers' commitment to work with Governor Okpebholo to improving the health sector of the state, noting that they will collaborate with the Edo Specialist Hospital to achieve the goal. He assured that he will speak with Governor Okpebholo to ensure there is adequate welfare provisions for health workers in the state to address health workers' immigration.
I've heard all you've said today. I think as a house, we want to also collaborate with you to make sure. Today you are here. I want to assure you that whatever budget you bring here, it will not be subject to scrutiny. Yes, you've listed all what you needed to make sure that hospital functions well. So if you're talking about the Japa syndrome, if you put the doctors on a good remuneration, they will stay.
Sure.
They will stay. So that's why we have to treat doctors specially. I think I will discuss that with the governor. Doctors must be treated specially. If you want them to stay here, you must provide for them, let them know that they will be taken care of.
In a related development, the Speaker, Honorable Blessing Agbebaku, also received members of the Edo State Complaints Commission, led by the Commissioner Augustine Agbovua, who visited the lawmakers to seek for partnership.
Mr. Speaker, Special Advisor, Protocol, Chief of Staff, members of the press, I bring greetings from the Honorable Chief Commissioner, Public Complaints Commission, Abuja, Honorable Bashar Abubakar, MFR. The purpose of this courtesy call is to express our thanks and appreciation for your cooperation and to find ways in improving on our already established relationship. I want to use this opportunity to apprise you with the Commission's activities. The Public Complaints Commission is a very powerful organ of government whose sole aim is to make sure that administrative injustice is totally eradicated from our society. PCC for short is empowered by Decree 31 of 1975, now Cap P37 LFN 2004,
to investigate any complaint lodged before it by members of the public and to take any useful evidence from anyone who in the Commission's view can provide relevant information.
Thank you for coming for bringing your team here. You've asked of collaboration. I want to also let you know that this assembly is also called Public Compliance Commission. Wow. so people do also come here to also complain to us if they are being maltreating of any kind. They also come here by way of doing petition to us too. That we also resolve here in the house here. So collaborating with you is very, very, very necessary. We can work together to make sure people don't suffer fury.
Sarogi Agwebo reporting for BeeTv News.
Management of the Prince Builders and Real Estate Developers have taken potential buyers on an inspection tour of its new estate, the Prince Builder City, a real estate property situated at Uye community of Benin Saple Road. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe reports that the inspection tour was also to showcase the features of the real estate property developing duplexes and bungalows. The report is presented by Best Orator.
Yeah, these are the buildings. So this is the football pitch. We'll move now so that we'll go to the buildings. They will also check the work there that we have also done.
The Prince Builder City is a real estate property situated at Uhie community, a few minutes drive away from the Rubber Research Institute along the road. It is a worthwhile estate with several features such as bungalows, 4-bedroom duplexes, an apartment already under construction, a football pitch, a gym house, and more. A well-layout road for easy access into the estate, security checkpoint, among others. The General Managing Director of the Prince Builder City, Mr. Siri Omoege, alongside other management team, took the potential buyers round the estate so that they can have a view of the estate.
Look at the monsters here. We have it all in suit.
In an interview, some of the potential buyers who own properties at the Prince Builders Estate, Mr. Omoyegi Osamogi, Mrs. Queen Okundia, Abievense, and others, expressed delight at the Prince Builders City on the uniqueness and genuity. They added that despite being abroad, they came to the estate to actually have a view of what they have been told about the Prince Builders. They encourage others to partner and invest in property buying with the Prince Builders.
Iye no nyegbe yegwe mi ogyo wole manomore la ovon bonfwa. E ave le wana ave tu kamakodi e bi akoko ni rewebo. Oweze no mani obogyo kun poge zokian. So run dono na nia e ka abo ni obogyo wa hia fe mi osiba. Metobu me obiwa otunwa no to boy redele na. Ire unda edo wi go na kwa bisi o wana do alwe no na gbotiti. E mi okpa e fe okparo ni ma fe webo. I'm happy to
be here today, live and direct, seeing my property. You hear a lot going on in Nigeria, especially with family members making away with your money. But working with the Prince Builders, I'm so happy that I'm seeing value for my money. So I'm glad that I'm seeing what I paid for. And the good part is that I was able to pay bit by bit. So, and I'm so glad that there's transparency with the Prince Builders. So if you're in diaspora, wherever you are, all over the world, home is always home. There's no place like home. I'm a Canadian, but I still have to be at home to come see family. So I'm glad that I'm seeing my property today. And I'm so impressed.
We're at the Prince Builder City Estate on Obaiti on Saple Road. Today I'm here to get my allocation for the land I bought some months ago. What I want to say to my friends in all over the world is that the Prince Builder are reliable and trusted clients you can really rely on.
The engineers in charge of the construction of facilities such as The Chief Executive Officer, Asma Smart Abdurazak Nasir, who is in charge of designing the football pitch, and the contractor constructing the layout road linking the estate, Sonny Okoye, said they are working tirelessly in ensuring that the job is delivered on time. They also lauded the management of the Prince Builders City.
We are approved by the Prince Builders to help them construct a sporting facility here. As you can see, we started with the mini football pitch. It's a 5-a-side, 800 square meters football pitch. It's done, but it's still in process. We still have the goalposts and the top ceiling net to cover the pitch so that the balls will not be flying out of, the perimeter fence. Secondly, there is the second phase. This is the first phase. The second phase is going to be a multi-court. It's going to entail, it's going to have a badminton court and a lawn tennis court, and then there's going to be a basketball court as well, just alongside the football pitch. Then thirdly, there's going to be a golf course, a mini golf course, and it's just adjacent to opposite the football pitch. It intends to also have a gym house and a swimming pool, and those are the things we actually do at Atma Sports Limited.
The job is moving very, very well, and we are well paid, so we are doing the job. By end of this month, I think we'll be out of it.
On his part, the General Managing Director of the Prince Builders, Mr. Sirio Moregi, said the Prince Builders City is a dream come true for those yearning to own a landed property and a home at an affordable rate, of which payment can be on installment basis. He further said the estate can occupy over 1,000 occupants, as most subscribers are based in the diaspora, and noted that the estate would accommodate vast number of homes ranging from bungalows, duplexes with constant electricity supply, internet services, a healthcare center, and around-the-clock security.
We give you luxury, yet affordable. This is a brand new city from the ancient city of Benin. It's a cosmopolitan city where we have people in the diaspora coming to Nigeria, want to have rest of mind. First of all, we give you 24 hours power supply, 24 hours security, where we have the Nigeria Police Force at this estate entrance gate. Before you access this estate, there's a gate pass you have to use, which we are giving all our subscribers the access card to access this estate. We also give you, other than giving you security, giving you 24 hours power supply, we also give you all tied roads. As you can see, we are working on the roads currently. We are tying all the roads in this new city. It's a gated estate. We already fenced around the estate. We have commercial plots. We also have residential plots in this estate. The commercial plots are places that you can build event center, shopping mall, hotels, apartments. And the residential plots, we have place for bungalow. We also have place for duplexes. If you also want to build your property, we can give you the prototype for you to build your duplex or your bungalow. Take advantage of all of this opportunity given to you by the Prince Builders and estate developers, where we give you affordable homes.
The Prince Builders City is taking the lead in real estate management in Benin City and beyond, with our goal of turning tenants into landlords. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
In furtherance of its efforts in Nigeria's primary healthcare sector, the United Nations Children Fund (UNICEF) has met with partners and critical stakeholders on its primary healthcare Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) dissemination program. The MOU is designed to strengthen primary healthcare systems by improving routine immunization, disease surveillance, service delivery, and governance. BeeTv News' Esoe Osemige has the details.
Deputy Governor of Gombe State, Manasseh Jate, emphasized the need for more partnerships in facilitating the healthcare system, noting that there is need for the sponsorship of researchers to produce vaccines in the country in order to limit cost of medicine importation.
I believe that there is a compelling need to sponsor researchers to produce medicines and vaccines for our all local plants that we have here. At any rate, all the imported drugs are from plants. And based on my travel of this world, I've visited 66 countries. We have more plants, we have enough plants to produce vaccines that we need in this country.
Frowning at the United States declaration of a freeze on foreign aid and withdrawal from the World Health Organization, UNICEF's Deputy Representative of Programs, Ronak Khan, called for a revitalization of healthcare system and optimal use of resources to help assess proper health services.
Really reduce the reliance on others at all levels. What has happened by this US government decision has shook us to the core, but honestly, I think we knew this was coming because we cannot be forever rely on external support. All of us need to have our own ownership, our own accountabilities and own responsibilities as well.
The Primary Healthcare MOU is a 3-year partnership involving Gavi, the Federal Ministry of Health, UNICEF, and 8 states that comprises Bayelsa, Gombe, Jigawa, Katsina, Kebbi, Niger, Taraba, and Zamfara. Soher Osemegi, reporting for BeeTv News.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has pleased to address the accommodation challenges faced by officers during his visit to the 81 Division in Lagos. He emphasized the need for better housing solutions. The report. This marks his first official visit to the division of the Nigerian Army following a closed-door meeting at the headquarters, where the general officer commanding briefed him on operational and administrative activities. The Chief of Army Staff proceeded to inspect and commission several projects at the 65 Battalion and 81 Division garrison. He assessed ongoing construction projects before heading to 9th Brigade of the Nigerian Army. There, he inaugurated several key facilities, including the commander, residence, and senior non-commissioned officers' quarters. He then addressed critical issues concerning his group, including accommodation, loans, and uniform.
We're going to have the spread of those houses so you can subscribe. And you all agree with me that there's nowhere in Nigeria that you can buy a house 2-3 bedroom for as low as 8 million naira. For that loan scheme, it attracts just 3% interest. Meanwhile, if you go to the banks, the least you can get is 25%. We have rolled out a program where we'll be having about 100,000 uniforms every month. When you're on duty, you're on course, we have realized that the 1,500 that is being paid can no longer give you food. So from next month, RCA in the Army will be 3,000 naira.
Additionally, he raised concerns about the interagency conflict, emphasizing the need for discipline and cooperation among security agencies.
Where you see soldiers fighting with other security agents, all these are uncalled for, and we will not tolerate that. Because most times, things are done when you are not where you're supposed to be at a particular time.
To mitigate this conflict, he highlighted the importance of providing adequate transportation for personnel, believing it will reduce altercations.
Some of you who are living in Kenya and working on the island will provide more buses for you so that you don't have to clash with anybody. Is that clear?
Reaffirming his commitment to improving troops' welfare, the Chief of Army Staff reminded them that to whom much is given, much is expected. Gifts Uwagwe reporting for BeeTv News. The Customs Service has raised fear that the enactment of tax bill may legislate the agency out of existence. Other government bodies, state governments, organized labor service, society groups, and professional bodies, alongside Customs, took turns to make input before the House Committee on Finance at a public hearing. The report is presented by Glorious Esirame.
After scaling the second reading, the tax reform bills are before the House Committee on Finance for further legislative action. A member each from the 36 states are corrupted into the committee for wider representation, with only 9% of companies captured in the tax net. The House leadership underscores the need for the country to overhaul and simplify its tax system.
Together, these 4 bills represent a transformative step for Nigeria's tax system by streamlining tax laws, improving administration, and enhancing revenue collection. They will set the nation on a path of sustainable economic growth while ensuring that taxpayers contribute their fair share.
This 10th House
recognizes the critical importance of the tax reform bills, the anxiety among Nigerians and the desire of the government to revamp our economy through an improved tax system, and resolve to ensure a thorough legislative process that is open, transparent, and inclusive.
For 4 hours, individuals and organizations present memoranda before the committee showing support for the bills, but a number of them pointed attention to some clauses they think should be revealed. The Nigerian Customs Service in particular forks the provision of Section 40 of the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill, expressing fears that it may lead to its extinction. The Kano state government also declared support for the bills, but highlighted areas it wants the lawmakers to look into, including the inheritance clause.
A lot of effort and resources has gone into the enactment of the Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023 less than 2 years ago. We plead with the Assembly to let the law stay.
Clearly defined derivation in the bill as the location where actual consumption takes place, regardless of which office files the VAT returns.
At a time when inflation is on the rise, unemployment is on the rise, higher taxes will further strain households and businesses.
The bigger challenge will be to depoliticize tax. There are people who believe on the added value tax, for instance, that states with higher economic activities are getting undue advantage. What that calls for is for the states to up their game.
The bill in focus are the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill, the Nigerian Tax Bill, Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Bill. Glorious Isiramin reporting for BeeTv News.
The Minister for Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Yari, has restated the federal government's dedication to enhancing food security in Nigeria. He said this during a one-day working visit to farms Adegbeyewa Limited. BeeTv News' Osarogi Agobo has more.
The seal of approval for President Bola Tinubu's leadership and policy reforms could be the perfect performance review as the administration reaches its midterm mark. The president assured his party that he remains committed to implementing the progressive manifesto that hands the APC a majority vote in the last presidential election.
Our strategic repositioning requires us to build on our sources and project a forward-looking agenda that resonates with the hopes and aspirations of Nigerians. I am here promising that we are doing that. I have a commitment to our manifesto, progressive ideas and belief.
The National Caucus meeting marks the first in 15 months for Nigeria's governing party, drawing criticism from both within and outside the party. Despite its irregular meetings, the APC has maintained its dominance and won several off-cycle elections.
The attention we give to our demographics and the domestication of campaigns have become contributing factors to the chain of electoral successes we have recorded over the last 15 months. Your Excellencies, as you are all aware, we won gubernatorial elections in Imo State, Kogi, Edo, and Ondo, but unfortunately, we lost in Bayelsa.
We need to do more meetings. We need to occupy the political space. We need to be proud of our own. We need to show that we are the owners of the government. In doing so, I want us, at the end of this meeting, to show proper commitment and identify with the reform policies of the government. And indeed, because the president has been able to drive most of the articles in our manifesto to fruition, we should be able to give him a vote of implicit confidence.
President Bola Tinubu was particularly pleased with the declaration from the former governor of Zamfara State regarding the rapid improvement in the state security situation, which was once the epicenter of bandit attacks.
It reached a time where before they came into state capital, it's 3 weeks. They have to pile up people that need interest to come to the city to do their businesses. So there be a convoy of security, soldiers, civil defense, police, before they bring people in, and then they escorted them back. But today, God is infinite mercy. Under the watch of our president, everyone can drive and apply that to pray.
The outcome of the National Caucus meeting may prove to critics of the APC that the party is in good stead, but the days ahead will also be challenging as opposition parties seek to garner its political capital and win the goodwill of Nigerians ahead of the keenly contested 2027 elections. Soher Osemeke reporting for BeeTv News.
The former embattled Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, is currently presiding over plenary with 4 other members at the chamber. The plenary is being conducted after the doors to the chamber were forced open by security personnel. As at 3:30 p.m., the plenary commenced and was still ongoing till about 3:30 p.m. Meanwhile, over 26 other members of the assembly were around but refused to enter the chamber in apparent loyalty and support to the substantive Speaker, Mojisola Merenda. Obasa had earlier announced his return as Speaker, arguing that while impeachment is the constitutional and democratic process, it must be carried out following laid-down procedures. Obasa was removed as Speaker on January 13th when he was abroad, with Mojisola Merenda swiftly installed as his successor. He had challenged his removal, maintaining that he is still the rightful Speaker of the House. Users of vehicle tires in Benin City have expressed the need to reevaluate the efficiency and durability of most Benjo second-handed used tires available in the market for sales, since the cost of new ones have become high and unaffordable. Therefore, seeing the Belgium as the only option to afford, they said that most Belgium tire in the market these days cannot be guaranteed for safety. BeeTv News Ebe Igberase completes the report.
Compare Belgium, so Belgium has its own quality, while anyone has its own quality.
The safety measure of every motorist on the road depends mostly on good and quality tire. Despite this knowledge, many drivers still opt for second-hand used tire instead of buying brand new ones. Although some persons prefer new tires to old ones, lack of funds has forced many into going for Belgian tire.
Choice depends on the pocket. Some come for market say they want come buy new one. You understand? For me, I foresee new one good pass, but depends on your pocket. But inside the Belgian, I'll still say the truth. They see stronger one, because they can get the one where they call plier, where they take carry load. Then if you fit into that car, if you fit into it, they get as in longer lifespan.
Compare Belgian to new tire, because the best is the new. Once you go for the new tire, it will last you for like 4 years to 5 years. It will not give you the quality what the new one will give to you when you are buying the Belgian. But the Belgian is because people will consider the price, because the new one we talk about here is more expensive than the Belgian. So when you tell them the price, they will prefer to go for that Belgian, because the money is going to spend in getting 2 tires. He is going to end up spending 1 because he's going for the new. So it will prefer going for that Belgian. At least it will help the person to get like 4 or 3 or 2 or more of the tire.
Most respondents who commented on the issue said they would prefer the new tires rather than the Belgian. Reason is the new ones comes with guarantee, while the ones referred to as Belgian comes with no guarantee. But Belgian tire is an alternative due to the cost of purchasing new ones.
Because that the new one can serve you like 3 years.
They don't use. They cannot come for this side. Mostly now because of the money, that makes some people they go for Belgium. You will leave new one. Belgium they more cheaper, as they more affordable to some people.
Expired tires over the years has caused several fatal and ghastly accidents on the road due to the driver's inability to purchase new and durable tire. This means that Belgian tires are not officially recommended for drivers on the road. Rather, motorists are advised to buy new tires irrespective of the cost for the purpose of safety. Ebe Igberese, reporting for BeeTv News.
The Lagos State Ministry of Commerce, Cooperative, Trade and Investment has brought together major drivers and stakeholders in the Lake Economic Zone for collaboration towards accelerated development of the corridors. This was formalized with the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding by the Lagos State Government, who was represented by Lekki Worldwide Investment Limited, Lekki Free Trade Zone Development Company, Lekki Free Zone, Dangote Enterprise Zone, Alaro City, Lekki Port, and others at the Alausa office of the Commission. Now speaking at the event, the Commissioner for the Ministry of Commerce, Cooperative Trade and Investment, Mrs. Folashade Ambrose, noted that the signing of the MOU reflects concerted efforts to position Lagos as a key hub for trade and investment in West Africa, attracting both local and international businesses.
Zone is Nigeria's fastest economic zone. It is a major development area located in the Lekki corridor of Lagos State, Nigeria. It is part of a broader plan to transform the region into an economic and industrial hub.
This is the dawn of a new era of collaboration and cooperation in Lekki Economic Zone. Usually after the dawn comes the sunrise, and I must say the sun is rising very high in Lekki Economic Zone.
So this Memorandum of Understanding really solidifies our cooperation and collaboration with Lagos State and its free zones in that Lekki economic axis, right? Which means that we will be working together to ensure that we advocate for better terms for our investors.
The Katsina State Governor Diko Umar has unveiled a 4 billion naira initiative to establish consumer shops as part of efforts to enhance food security and drive economic stability. The investment is expected to improve access to essential goods for residents while stimulating local economic growth. The report. The initiative, launched during a sensitization and registration program at the State Secretariat, will commence with 7 centers that will supply essential commodities with 10% discount for workers and the elderly. Governor Ride emphasized that the project aligns with his administration's commitment to addressing food shortage and supporting sustainable development in the region.
The Lumbunsanki program is a social welfare and economic support initiative aimed at reducing the burden of high food prices in our citizens, particularly elderly, government workers, retirees, and other vulnerable groups. Through this initiative, the Kazakhstan State government is committed to providing essential food items at subsidized rate to ensure food security and affordability for all.
Special advisor to the governor of rural economy, Engineer Yakubu Nuhu Danja, explained that the commodities to be provided under the program include rice, flour, corn, and spaghetti.
Will enjoy 10% subsidy on the costs of the food commodity, with purchases initially limited to 1/3 of your take home.
One is putting, at the time of take-home, 4 billion naira into this transaction. So if you multiply this annually, the vendors will make a turnover of not less than 50 billion naira. You can imagine the level of economic activity that will go alongside with this transaction.
Dr. Shaibu Mohammed also gave a detailed review of the registration process and other modalities that the program has put in place. The program also received endorsement from the representatives of the labor unions and the head of service of Katsina State, Alhaji Falalu Bawale, amongst others. Gifts Uwagwe reporting for BeeTv News. And now to the foreign scene, where U.S. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts has temporarily upheld the Trump administration's freed on foreign aid payments. The decision came just before a midnight deadline, 5 o'clock GMT Thursday, for payments to contractors. Also, UK Prime Minister has called for U.S. security guarantees for Ukraine to prevent another Russian invasion. BeeTv News Global News correspondent Rebecca Goffey tells us more on these and other stories from the foreign scene.
Officials argue that they could not process the payments in time despite a lower court judge ordering the State Department and USA to pay $2 billion by the deadline. Since taking office in January, President Donald Trump has moved quickly to end many aid programs, putting USAID staff on leave or firing them. His administration is reviewing foreign aid funding as part of a cost-cutting effort led by Elon Musk. Musk recently asked millions of federal workers to list their weekly accomplishments, sparking outrage among government employees. Meanwhile, UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has called for US security guarantees for Ukraine to prevent another Russian invasion as he prepares to meet Donald Trump at the White House. Trump, however, insists that Europe should take responsibility for Ukraine's security and says the US will not provide any guarantees. He also confirmed that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will visit the Oval Office on Friday to sign a major minerals deal with the U.S. Zelensky says the agreement is preliminary as he wants additional security assurances. Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman, his wife Betsy Arakawa, and their dog were found dead at their home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The Santa Fe County Sheriff confirmed their deaths but said foul play is not suspected. Hackman was 95 and Arakawa, a classical pianist, was 63. Tributes poured in for Hackman, with colleagues describing him as a great artist and genius. Born in California in 1930, he served in the U.S. Marine Corps, studied journalism, and later pursued his acting dream in New York and California till his retirement. His legacy as one of Hollywood's greatest actors will live on through his films. And lastly, on Global News, Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan have left Romania on a private jet to Florida, according to sources. The brothers, who were arrested in Romania 3 years ago, face charges of rape, human trafficking and money laundering, all of which they deny. Romanian prosecutors confirmed that their request to leave was approved, but they remain under investigation and are expected to return. 4 women who accused Andrew Tate of sexual abuse say that they are in disbelief and fear that he will intimidate witnesses and continue spreading his misogynistic views. Their lawyer, Mati Juri, accused Donald Trump's administration of interfering in Romania's legal processes. And that is it from the global scene. Rebecca Goffey reporting for BeeTv News.
Billionaire businessman Femi Otedola had hosted Nigerian's biggest music star, Wizkid and Burna Boy at his residence. Otedola shared photos from the gathering on social media, showcasing the trio. The report. Billionaire entrepreneur Femi Otedola welcomed 2 of Nigeria's most prominent music artists, Wizkid and Burna Boy, to his home. Otedola shared images from the event on social media, highlighting the friendly atmosphere among the 3. In the photographs, Otedola is seated next to Wizkid, with Burna Boy standing nearby alongside an unnamed guest. The billionaire expressed his appreciation for the chance to host these musical legends and acknowledged the worldwide influence of Afrobeat in his post. Singer Naira Marley has reacted after a magistrate court acquitted him, Sam Larry and Prime Boy of complicity in Mohbad's death. Naira Marley, who is the owner of Malian Records label, and the 2 others were cleared of any involvement in Mohbad's death on Tuesday, February 25, 2025. The judgment came 18 months after the former Malian signee Mohbad died in a mysterious manner. His demise stirred up controversies on the internet after videos of how he was bullied by Naira Marley and associates surfaced. However, in its judgment on Tuesday, the magistrate court sitting in Yaba, Lagos State, acquitted Naira Marley over the death of Mohbad. The court also acquitted Sam Larry and Prime Boy. Lastly, on entertainment, famous Nigerian singer Wizkid has reconciled with colleague Ricardo Banks some years after their fallout. The 2 singers appear to have put their differences aside as they were spotted together for the first time since 2020. Recall that the duo fell out in 2020 after Wizkid referred to Ricardo as a clout animal on social media. Wizkid made the remarks after Ricardo Banks announced the release of a single, Omo Logo, featuring Wizkid amid NSAS protests. Their reunion occurred in Lagos on Tuesday when Wizkid visited Ricardo Banks' newly opened lounge. That's it on Entertainment News Tonight. Gifts Uwagbo reporting for BeeTv News. And now talking sports, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria on Wednesday defeated Cote d'Ivoire 2-0 in Abidjan in a friendly match on Wednesday. BeeTv News sports correspondent Freeman Osawe tells us more on this and other stories from the sport.
Flying Eagles beat Cote d'Ivoire 2-0 in Abidjan. The visitors were awarded a penalty around the hour mark after Divan Olise was brought down inside the box. Captain Daniel Bamiye calmly converted the spot kick to give the Flying Eagles the lead. Olise added the second goal 10 minutes from time. Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire will face each other again at the same venue on Friday as both teams continue their preparations for the 2025 African U20 Cup of Nations. World Boxing has been granted provisional recognition as the sport's international governing federation by the International Olympic Committee. Boxing is not currently part of the program for Los Angeles 2028, and the creation of a new global body was the biggest hurdle to the sport's inclusion in the next games. The IOC has run boxing at the past two Olympics after the International Boxing Association (IBA) was suspended as the sport's world governing body in 2019 over governance, finance, refereeing, and ethical issues. The Russian-led IBA was then stripped of its status in June 2023 over a failure to implement reforms. World Boxing was formed in April 2023 and now has 78 members across 5 continents, including Great Britain. Liverpool took another step towards the second Premier League title in 5 years as a 2-0 victory over Newcastle extended their lead to 13 points. Goals from Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexis Mac Allister in either half ensured an Islo's side capitalized on another slip-up by second-place Arsenal to leave you inside Anfield in any doubt. May or maybe sooner will bring a record equaling to 20th championship trophy to Merseyside. Slot sat in the stands of his 2-match touchline ban for his Merseyside, and his senior players will not countenance such thinking, but it is difficult to imagine a team which has lost just one league match this season, letting their lead slip. Certainly not playing the type of fleet football which a Newcastle side shown of the considerable talent of Alexander Isak. Nursing a grown problem, struggled to contain the match bid as a dress rehearsal for next month's Carabao Cup final. There was no goal for the informed Mohamed Salah, but he did provide the assist Mac Allister to claim his 52nd goal involvement of the campaign. Szoboszlai's 11th minute goal was Liverpool's 100th of the season in all competitions, and Mac Allister a league-leading 66 in 28 league matches. And that's it on Sport News. Freeman Osawe reporting for BeeTv News.
And that's the size of our news package for tonight. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Gift Uwagboy. Have a good night.